I've been wanting to do this episode for some time, and I just came back from my morning walk, and I thought it was the perfect week to take you through a week in my life and show you all the behind the scenes of everything that I'm working on, all my wins, all my failures, things that I think I could have done better, things that were on my schedule that didn't get done, that are on my schedule that I got done. Because my goal always is with you is just to show you that you can have success, but also not be perfect. So I know a lot of the times, like for example, when I look up to certain people that inspire me, I put them up on this pedestal automatically, like, oh, they must do this perfectly and this, but they also like trip and try out and experiment different things. And I just want to show you how reality really is, so you can feel like things are more attainable for you as well. When I first started my wedding photography business back in 2011, I made just $5,000 in my business. Now, I bring in multiple six figures per year while working only 30-hour weeks serving my dream couples. I'm here to help you discover that it's so possible to have what you want when you want in your business so that you can create the life you've always dreamed of and deserve. Well, good morning to you. You're probably wondering, why are you saying good morning? Well, because I woke up really early today. I don't know what it is this week. I've just been waking up earlier, like 6:30, 7:30. And normally, if you guys know me, I love my sleep. I've been trying to figure out a way to hack, being a morning person, all of that. But this week, I've just been so inspired and feeling so energized. And it's actually really weird because it's actually even my period week. So normally I'm supposed to be lower energy. So I don't know if any of you guys feel the same way, that sometimes on your period week, you feel like you're lower energy and sometimes you just have so much inspiration. So I'm just kind of embracing it and going with the flow. So anyway, after I talked about my non-morningness and my period, let's get into the topic of the episode, which I'm actually really excited about. I've been wanting to do this episode for some time, and I just came back from my morning walk, and I thought it was the perfect week to take you through a week in my life and show you all the behind the scenes of everything that I'm working on, all my wins, all my failures, things that I think I could have done better, things that were on my schedule that didn't get done, that are on my schedule that I got done. Because my goal always is with you is just to show you that you can have success. I don't know why it came out that way. It's too early. You can have success, but also not be perfect. So I know a lot of the times, like for example, when I look up to certain people that inspire me, I put them up on this pedestal automatically, like, oh, they must do this perfectly and this, but they also like trip and try out and experiment different things. And I just want to show you how reality really is, so you can feel like things are more attainable for you as well. So I'm really excited to dive in. So today is a Friday. I decided to start on a Friday and go from Friday to Friday just because I think it worked best, especially with like being a wedding photographer and shooting some wedding days. And I just thought that the flow of this week coming up worked best that way. So I'm going to start you off with basically today. So every single morning, I have my shake in the morning, which energizes me. It's like my brain booster. And in there, I have water, half a frozen banana, like a tablespoon of chia seeds. I also have, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head right now, a tablespoon of MCT oil, a little bit of collagen powder, some blueberries, some frozen spinach, and I think that's oh yeah, can't forget the key ingredient, peanut butter as well. And this is like a really it's like a coconut peanut butter, which I really love. So all those things put together just really wake me up in the morning. I feel like I'm, filling my body with nutrients, and I just feel so good. And it's so tasty because the protein powder. Oh yeah, protein powder. Who can forget the vanilla protein powder? So I put that in there as well. And yeah, it's just so tasty and such a great way to start off my day. And then usually on average, I go for a morning walk, listen to a podcast, listen to maybe morning affirmations, something like that. Lately, the past 2 or 3 weeks, I just haven't been feeling like going for morning walks, but that feeling is back and I'm just like embracing it again, going with the flow. So then as soon as I do all of that, it's time just to head into my office, and it always depends on where I do this, but I dive into my full focus planner. So this is going to be in the show notes for you, the link to this planner. It's the one that I rave about. It's the one that I finally stuck to in my life because I've always tried different planners and didn't really stick to any. But basically right now I'm looking at it and I'm going to kind of just walk you through what I have planned for today. So in my planner, in the full focus planner, I have my daily big 3 that I list to make sure that I stay focused on the most important tasks of the day. So I don't end up just, randomly sitting on Instagram or spontaneously doing a task that really isn't that beneficial for me or my business, right? So the first task today is for me to record exactly what you're listening to. So today's day in the life snippet of my week in the life podcast episode. So I'm doing that right now. And it's going to feel so good to put a check mark right beside it when it's done. And then after that, it's time for me to review one of my wedding edits from the Image Salon. So I always have it marked on my calendar when I'm getting my edits back so that I make time that day or the day after to review them so that I can then send off that, or I can then, if I need to make any tweaks or send feedback or anything like that, I can get it done. And then I can send off or export the JPEGs, right, from Lightroom and send everything to my virtual assistant for her to get everything ready for my clients. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm reviewing the edit, which I'm really excited for. And then also today what I'm doing, and this is something that, I'm being vulnerable about because it's I see it as a failure. So basically every single year, okay, let me tell you what it is. So today I have to fill out my tax form from 2019 so I can go through and just input all my expenses and have everything ready for my accountant to deal with. So this is why I'm embarrassed about this, because every single year, like clockwork for the past 10 years, I did my taxes on time. And I'm always so proud of that. And I actually get all nerdy around tax season because I'm just like, ooh, I love it. I get to get organized. And I know this is weird. I love paying taxes. And you know why? Because the more taxes I need to pay, that means that I'm making more money. So I actually look at it the other way around. So instead of me thinking like, oh my gosh, I have to give away all this money, I always think of that money as not being mine. And if I have to give away more, that's a representation that my income is growing year to year. And it actually makes taxes so much more fun. I don't know, I'm just a nerd about this. So I'm actually, a little disappointed in myself this year that it's freaking September and I'm going to be dealing with them now. And it's basically just because, 2020, I also went through a roller coaster of, emotions and kind of, just feeling even lazy during the initial quarantine. I was just like, I just want to do nothing. I just wanted to do nothing. And you know what? I don't regret it. I've had such a good track record with taxes and always being on time. And I'm like, you know what? It's okay. It's okay. What's the worst that can happen? You're just going to end up, getting everything in a little bit later, and that's okay. So those are my big 3 for today. And then something that's really, really fun. I haven't had my hair done in 8 months and I'm leaving in about an hour and a half to go get my hair done. I'm so excited just to have that experience today and just to freshen up. I tried to go as long as possible without getting my hair done because I'm like, you know what? I actually like the way it's ombre and I could save some money with this and all of that. But then girls, you know what it's like. You hit a point and you're like, I need my hair done. And I'm just feeling all raggedy right now. And I cannot wait for the transformation today. So that's coming up today. And then lastly, so those are my big three that I listed out. But then I have this little area in the full focus planner where I can list out other smaller tasks. And what I do is I actually, when I write them down in the morning of every other small task that I need to do, I actually write down an estimated amount of time that's going to take me to complete the task, which helps so much to like visualize the day and then be able to see if you are taking on too much, if it's like actually realistic for you to do all those tasks or not. Because how many times have I, or you, I'm sure you can relate, written down all these little tasks that you think you could get done. And then by the end of the day, out of like 10 of them, you've got maybe 3 done, and then you feel like a failure. But if you just write down the actual time it'll take to complete, and then even if you write down 5 tasks, but you get 3 done, that's a really good feeling. So the 3 smaller tasks I have for today are for me to schedule my remaining Planoly posts. So lately I've been actually scheduling out posts in advance, about even like 5 days in advance, and just posting twice a day. And then sometimes randomly I'll still post spontaneously when I feel like it, but it's just been really good for my Instagram engagement, for there to be consistency. And it's so much easier to quickly like type out your caption and put in your hashtags on Planoly. It's more efficient, and you just have it scheduled and it goes out. And like, for example, tomorrow I'm shooting a wedding, and right in the middle of a wedding when I'm busy, the post is going to go out, and it's going to go out at an optimal time, because Planoly lets you know the optimal time for the post to go out for your audience specifically. So it's really great. I have that handled and it feels good. So I just have to make sure, I already scheduled a bunch, but I just have to finish that for the next couple of days. And I allocated about 20 minutes for that. So it should take me 20 minutes to do to schedule another like 4 posts. After that, I just want to deliver photos to someone that I did as a favor, which will only take me 20 minutes. So it's just like a friend that I quickly snapped a couple photos just so she has a memory. That should take me 20 minutes. And lastly, again, I have a wedding tomorrow, so I have to get everything ready. So I have to make sure everything is charged, all my cards are formatted, everything is clean, ready to go. I have my schedule, have my family photo list, all of that. And that should take me 20 minutes because I already got started earlier in the week, like charging some stuff and things like that. So yeah, I always make sure to have everything ready the day before a wedding day, so I can wake up, do whatever I need to do to optimize my energy in the morning, which is either go for a walk or work out, and then I'm off to shoot. So that's what I have planned for today. So I'll see you tomorrow morning before I'm off to shoot the wedding, just to give you another idea of, how I spend a Saturday morning for right before I go to shoot a wedding. Okay, so it's now Saturday morning. I woke up about half an hour ago. I'm enjoying my morning shake again. And I want to tell you about how yesterday went. So, of course, my big 3 that I had, I, of course, recorded the day in the life snippet. That was yesterday. And then I also went on to review a wedding edit from my editor. And that went really well. It ended up taking me 11 minutes to review, 8 minutes to give feedback, and 15 minutes to fix any photos that were just slightly off. So it was a total about 34 minutes. And obviously that's incredible because I ended up saving around probably 10 hours of editing time. So I was really happy with that. I got to export all the JPEGs, and now my virtual assistant is going to be working on creating slideshows for me and things like that. So that was a big win yesterday. I also did finish scheduling the remaining Planoly posts for Instagram. So over the course of the weekend, right now, they're just going to go out automatically, and that feels great. I also ended up sending the photos that I was supposed to send to someone. And I, of course, got ready for today's wedding. So everything was packed up by the evening before I even had a glass of wine and relaxed with Rory. So that was done. That was all done and great. The only thing that I didn't do, and see, this is where I show you guys that, not everything I set out to do, I always end up doing. I do my best, just like we all do. And sometimes I still don't end up doing something. So I didn't end up filling out that tax form that I needed to do. So I need to just prioritize that next week. And I'm giving myself grace. I'm not going to be stressing myself over it. I'm just going to make sure I get that done next week. Lastly, another huge win, which was more of a personal win yesterday. Rory and I went for a 15K run last evening, which was amazing, and it energized me so much. My body feels so much more powerful today. And so, that was a really big win. So for today's going to be a short update because it's a wedding day. So overall, all I want to make sure to do is, after I finish my shake right now, I just want to go for a nice nature stroll. So even just 10-15 minutes, just to get my body moving, my energy going, and reconnect with nature, get some fresh oxygen to my brain. And then I'm just going to slowly get ready for the wedding day. I mean, all I have to get ready, because I'm pretty much packed, all I have to get ready is do my hair, makeup a little bit, get dressed, and just go over any notes that I have to remind myself of the couple's story and all the family photos and the names and stuff like that. Just go over that. And that's pretty much it. So the rest of the day today, I'm shooting a wedding day. I'm really excited. It's a farm wedding where she grew up. So I love those types of weddings. I guess I'll reconnect with you tomorrow on Sunday and let you know how today went. All right, so it's now Sunday and I'm recording this kind of like halfway through the day, just because I woke up a little bit earlier and I was a little too tired, and I wanted to make sure I was super energized for this snippet of today. And so yesterday I had the wedding day to photograph, which was so much fun, so amazing. It was on a family-owned farm property, so it was all outdoors. And they were, oh my gosh, I got to, as soon as I got there, I got to pet horses, and there were chickens running around at another location when the bride was getting ready, because they were getting ready in two different locations. And then, the rest of the day just was so much fun. And I actually ended off the day right on time. So I don't know how many times it happens to you where you actually get to finish a wedding day on time. So I know for me, sometimes it happens on time. Sometimes I end up going over for about an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on if things are running a little bit later, or if I just feel like the story isn't complete yet and I need more. Yesterday finishing right on time felt really good, because then I got to go home and enjoy an evening with Rory. So that was really nice. And then today, so every Sunday, if I'm not shooting a wedding, it is sacred, personal time for me and for us. I don't book any shoots, any sessions on Sundays, on weekends, actually. I never book any shoots. Those are sacred for either weddings or personal time. So today I'm not photographing a wedding, and I'm going to talk about what are my main things that I need to accomplish today, both obviously business and personal. And since it is my day off, there's only one thing that I need to do business-wise, and that is to obviously make sure that my images from yesterday are all backed up, which I actually did last night. So I kind of come home, I start backing up the images, and then Rory and I can watch TV, I can have a glass of wine, do whatever. And then so today, now they're all backed up, and I've imported them all into Lightroom so that I can then send the catalog off to my virtual assistant who culls for me. So today, my number one concern is to get that catalog sent to her so that Tuesday morning when I wake up, the cull is ready for me. So she's able to do that Monday during the day. So that's all I need to do for work today, which is awesome. It's my day off. Otherwise, for personal time, I always can tell the difference that if I start off the week on a Monday, without doing things like laundry or making sure the house is clean, I end up starting off really with a cluttered mindset, not feeling energized. And so I've been making it a priority to just suck it up, take the time it takes to get everything back in order so that you have a beautiful, fresh, clean start on a Monday. And it's been working out amazing. So actually, I've already done some things today, which I'm really happy about. I've already done laundry. So I've put away laundry that's been kind of like, tumbling around the house. It's been like clean laundry has been just like kind of exploded a little bit in our bedroom. And I'm like, okay, no, it's time. Today is the time to put it away. So I put it away, felt really good about that. And I obviously made sure to have that in my planner, and checking it off always feels so good. And then just doing other cleaning, like cleaning the kitchen, cleaning out making sure the fridge is cleaned out from anything that's like not supposed to be in there anymore, vacuuming and things like that. So that's already all done. So that's kind of what I wanted to do today. And then next on the list today, normally we would do our grocery run to make sure we have groceries for the week. But today I actually want to try out something different. So I always want to figure out a way to run my life more efficiently. So I think today we're going to try ordering groceries online through one of our near grocery stores. And yeah, I'm just going to see how that experience goes. So I'm excited for that. And also we want to make sure to move our bodies. So Sundays is usually yoga day for Rory and I. We kind of have a schedule of like when we do yoga, when we run, just because if you have a schedule kind of set, you don't have to guess when you're doing something and what, and trying to navigate and plan it. Because when we didn't have a schedule, that's when we didn't end up working out. So this works really well. So Sundays is our yoga day. So we're going to do yoga today. And then lastly, what I want to make sure I get done is I want to make sure to plan my week ahead. And that's done with the Full Focus Planner. So I have it in front of me right now all the time. I have it on my desk with me, and it's just incredible. I'm going to flip over. So basically, I'll flip over the page here so I can see. I can walk you through what I do. So basically every Sunday I get to go through a weekly preview. So I get to list out my biggest wins for the week, like about 3 to 5 major accomplishments, because that way I feel like I'm really starting off with a positive mindset and feeling like I am able to accomplish the things that I set my mind to. And it sets me up for wanting to have another successful week. So I love this part. So I get to list out my biggest wins, and then I get to actually go through my weekly big 3. So at the beginning of every week, I fill out a little part in the planner here about the 3 things that are the most important tasks that need to get done. And here you get to review that, and you ask yourself basically, well, the planner asks you, how far did you get? And then you actually are this is the area where you have to be super honest with yourself. So you guys remember how I told you about, like, one of my goals was to fill out the tax form. I didn't do that. And that was actually one of my big 3 for the week, and I didn't do it. So I have to be honest with myself. And then it goes on to ask you what worked and what didn't. So I'd have to kind of ask myself, okay, why didn't I end up doing that? Was it procrastination? Did I not allocate enough time for that, or anything like that? And obviously you can also list out if you did accomplish a couple of your big 3s, or all of them, or one. You write down, yeah, I did it. I've completed it to 100%, and this is why, this is what worked. So it's a great way to kind of understand why you're making the decisions you're making. And then it even asks you a question: what will you keep, improve, start, or stop doing? So I know it's like a lot of questions to review, and to be honest, like I don't fill this out every single week, because sometimes my mind still fools me by being like, oh, Sarah, this is a waste of time. Like, you just know all of this in your head. But every single time I actually answer these questions and write stuff down, there is a total shift and a total mindset shift that happens to prep me for the following week. And it does make a huge difference. But at the minimum, I always make sure there's a question here. What are your weekly big 3? So I always make sure to fill that out at the minimum. And that helps me stay focused on knowing exactly where my energy needs to go for my tasks, and what are the most important tasks that need to happen. And then there's also an area here in the weekly preview for kind of like a weekly overview of all the tasks that you need to do. And it's divided up into personal and professional, which I love, because I love kind of having those two separated, so I can navigate it easier. Instead of seeing one long to-do list, I could see like the difference between work and personal. So I, throughout the week, whenever I'm like, oh yeah, I need to add that to the to-do list, that's where I add it. And I just have a whole little list here that I can then even easier plan out the rest of my week. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing today. And I'm really excited about that. You can, cozy up with like a tea or a coffee and spend 20 minutes to half an hour, depending on how much time you need for that. So yeah, today I'm going to be picking my big 3 for next week. And at the end of all of that, once I've accomplished all of that, then I get to relax. So I get to just do anything. Either Rory and I go for a long walk with Abby, or we watch TV. Usually we just end up binging something on Netflix and snuggling and eating snacks, which I love. It's such a fun way for me to relax. So yeah, it's pretty much it. Oh, and Sundays, if I'm not shooting a wedding and if it's just not Rory and I relaxing, it's also like family time. But we've seen our families recently. So today is just like one of those days where it's just us two. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, tomorrow I'm excited to start off the week. I'm really excited. And I'm excited to bring you guys along throughout the whole week as well. I've actually really enjoyed recording these snippets. So yeah, I will talk to you tomorrow. Okay, welcome to day 4 and welcome to my Monday morning. So for today's snippet, I'm going to review how yesterday went for me, and then I'm going to talk about the big 3 that I decided to focus on this week, and then I'm going to break down today's day, what I need to accomplish today. So in short, just because Sunday was mainly a day off, I'm just going to walk you quickly through how that went. So I ended up obviously recording the snippet that I had to record. I ended up sending the catalog to my virtual assistant with the wedding that she has to cull. So now it's Monday and she's working on it. I'm going to have that ready for me Tuesday morning to review. And then laundry was put away, laundry was cleaned. That feels really good. I also tried out actually ordering groceries online for the first time. And I really enjoyed the process because then I got to like favorite items that I know I'm going to reorder over and over again. So I know it's only going to get quicker from there. The only thing that bummed me out is, oh my gosh, you guys know I love my cheese. And I thought that if I ordered online, I can also order like my little slivers of cheese, but I realized they don't have them available on there because it's like custom pricing based on what kind of sliver you choose, because some are bigger, some are smaller. So every single one is priced separately. So that's the only bummer. But I'm also thinking, oh, maybe it's a good thing if I really want to like cut down how much cheese I'm eating, because that is like my number one food addiction. So I'm still trying it out. I ended up not getting cheese, but groceries were delivered this morning, and I'm just gonna go with it and try to see how it goes every week. And then obviously I'm going to be out and about sometimes every week, so I can always stop by for cheese if I want it. But yeah, it's funny that if cheese ends up being the reason I end up not doing online groceries, I'm still, there's still a little bit of a problem there. And my friends would totally laugh at me saying that because they know how obsessed I am with it. All right. So yeah, that was good. And then yesterday's movement goal was for Rory and I to do yoga, and that happened. So I felt amazing after that. And bonus movement goal, we also went for a really long walk with Abby, and it was just so nice to just get some fresh air, take in the last days of summer that I really want to make sure to do before it's gone, because otherwise I'll regret that if I didn't go for that walk as well. Okay. So then I did my weekly preview, and again, I kind of expanded more on, what my biggest wins were of the week and all of that stuff. But I'm going to kind of leave that out in this episode because otherwise it's going to get too long. So I think I'm just going to focus on letting you know what my my 3 things I need to focus on this week are. So then throughout the week, you can see how I get to work on them and how I focus on them. So number 1, I need to submit my taxes to my accountant. Guys, it's September. This was normally supposed to be done in like March or April. So I need to get on that. And actually these little recordings, I hope will keep me accountable, because I won't want to let you guys down with actually not being in action and not doing what I say I'm going to do, right? The second thing for the big three, I also want to create like a sharing system for teaching you guys, because I have my podcast and that's amazing. I just feel like I want to show up more live, show up and interact with you guys more. And I've been trying to figure out how to do that. And I haven't been doing that because I don't have anything planned. I don't have a system. And if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So what I want to get sorted this week is figuring out, okay, am I going to have like a Shine and Thrive Facebook group where I can create a community of like-minded photographers, and in there I could do live Q&As and have you guys interact with one another. That's something that's been on my mind. Or should I do, Instagram lives and answer Q&As there once a week and stuff like that. So I'm just trying to figure out what's going to be best. And by the time you're listening to this episode, you've probably already received an email survey from me that I'm actually going to put together and email out today, because I want to make sure you guys are getting the experience that you want. So you've probably already filled that out, or you voted on my Instagram poll of what would be the best experience for you, for me to show up, to interact with you guys and support you along the way. So yeah, I need to figure that out this week. And I just want to create the system so that it's kind of, running on its own. I never have to double think about what am I doing this week to support everyone, to all of that. It's going to be a system every week, the same thing. And that's what's going to help me show up more often how I want to. And the third thing I need to focus on this week is sorting all my video footage for my upcoming course. So basically, I think it was last year, May 2019, I had a videographer follow me around on a wedding day with the intent of then documenting how I document a wedding day. And in there are snippets of me talking to you directly to the camera of like, this is why I'm doing this right now in the wedding day and doing it like this, because I knew that I really wanted to create a course for you guys to teach you how to document a wedding day very authentically, like full on storytelling, how I do it so confidently. And I'm really excited to put that course together. But the first step is for me to then take all of that footage that he recorded, and now I have to sort through it and like cull it basically. So that's going to be a big task. So I'm going to focus on doing that this week. And after that, I can actually see what footage he has, and I can automatically start creating the lesson ideas that I have and kind of chunking things out, because I love making sure that in my online courses, everything is chunked out and every lesson isn't too overwhelming. And I want to make sure that everything is included that you need in there to be successful. So those are my big three that I'm focusing on this week. And that makes me really excited for this week when it's like broken down like that. I have a clear path ahead of me of what I need to do. Okay, so today's day is, I'm going to talk to you about my daily big three and then some other little tasks that I have to do. So keep in mind, normally, if I was still culling and editing my work, today would be a day where it would just be culling the wedding from this past weekend, right? But now I have my virtual assistant doing that for me. So that frees up me to do work on other things, right? Also, I'm not editing because I'm outsourcing my editing as well. So you'll basically see today that I'm not working on any of those things, and it gives me time to actually work on another passion of mine, which is teaching and sharing, right? So, okay, I'm going to walk you through today. So today, one of my first focuses is to fill out that damn tax form that I've been telling you guys about. And basically, I have to fill out everything but the bottom part. So the bottom part will take more effort for me to like figure out, the square footage of my office that I need to write off and stuff like that. So I've made it very specific, made the goal very specific so that I know that I've actually accomplished it at the end of the day, and not just, fill out the tax form and then I wouldn't have filled out the bottom part and I would have felt like I failed. But I'm saying it very specifically, this area needs to be filled out, and that's exactly what I need to do today, and that's it. Okay, the second focus of the day is for me to put out a vote on Instagram stories to see if you guys want me to create a Shine and Thrive Facebook group, and also email my list a survey, for the same reason, just to basically have you guys vote if you do want that kind of group and that kind of community for me to create that. And then the third biggest focus of the day is my OME motivation call. So you're probably wondering what that is. So OME, that's the short form for my Outsourcing Made Easy course for wedding photographers. And today is a support call with them where they get to ask me questions directly. And right now they're working through implementing some things that they're learning and hiring and all of that. So I'm there one-on-one with them in Zoom, and we're chatting. I'm helping them implement and answering any questions or helping them basically get unstuck if they're feeling stuck. So that's today at 12:30 for about an hour. So I want to make sure that I'm fully prepped, fully focused for that as well. So those are my big three for today. Okay. And then the rest are just smaller little tasks that basically I kind of like write down in my full focus planner. I'm basically looking at my full focus planner right now and telling you about my day. So the other tasks, I just write them out, and next to it, I kind of estimate how much time it's going to take me, and then I schedule it into my day. So that's the first thing I do before I even check emails or anything when I sit down at my desk after I did my morning shake today and my morning walk. So other little things I need to do, like record this day in the life snippet. And after when my, so my virtual assistant, this is another little task, for a separate wedding, not even the wedding from this past weekend. Another wedding is ready from the Image Salon with the edits. So I've already reviewed it. Everything is good. I've exported everything. And she's basically curating the top 95 images from the day to tell the story. That's going to end up being a blog post, and that's also going to end up being a short slideshow for my clients, and it's also going to end up being the highlights section in their online gallery, where basically someone like clicks in, or my clients click in, or their family and friends click in, and the first thing they see is the best like storytelling images, which is amazing. So basically I review every time my virtual assistant curates that to make sure that it's exactly to my standard. So I have to do that today when she completes it. And then I'm going to do a little bit of emails. I also want to update my highlight bubbles in my Instagram because I've been putting that off, and I think it's just going to look a little bit more polished if I basically create those like little circle title pages for my highlight bubbles. So I'm just going to update some of those. And then I want to make sure to share behind the scenes footage from the wedding this past weekend. So I used to kind of do it. I used to share like on the exact day of the wedding, like behind the scenes, like storytelling for my Instagram story. But I found that I just prefer to wait until Monday once I have everything on my phone. And then that way I'm like, okay, guys, here's some behind the scenes from this past weekend's wedding. I'm just trying that on just to basically focus more on the wedding day and then also have Sunday off, right? So I'm not like worried about doing that on my day off. And I'm like, you know what? Like people are going to end up seeing the behind the scenes footage today anyway. It doesn't matter if it was 2 days ago or today. So I'm just trying that on, experimenting a little bit. And then later today, around 5:45, I have an engagement session. So basically my whole day is filled with mainly my education side of my business and some emails, right, which are a mixture of education side of my business and wedding clients. And then also I'm shooting at the end of the day. So I like the day. I like how it's balanced out. My brain is going to be challenged and working, and I'm also going to be able to be creative. So I know this day sounds like it's really, really fun. I have a fun day ahead of me. So I'll see you tomorrow with an update on how today went and a breakdown of how tomorrow's going to be. I remember when I first started my photography business and I began to notice that I was wasting so much time typing the same responses over and over again in email. It got to the point where I didn't have much time for other tasks that would actually help me grow my business because I was spending hours and hours a day on emails. Does that sound familiar to you? To solve this problem for myself, I started to create canned responses that I could copy into an email and customize it for every single inquiry and client. This has saved me loads of time, and now emails are less daunting as a result. You can also get your hands on these exact email templates I've created since they are now available for you in my shop. The email templates guide for wedding photographers includes 26 email templates, and not only does it have those in there, but every single template has an explanation of why I respond the way I do. I created this guide to show you that you can respond by being yourself while at the same time strategically being on top of emails in a way that requires less back and forth between you and your client or inquiry. This way, you can serve couples well, but also have boundaries in place to have a healthy work-life balance for yourself. To get your hands on these so you can implement them into your business right away, head over to saramonica.com/email guide. And when you get there, just scroll down and you'll find a whole breakdown of all the templates that are included. So head over to saramonica.com/email guide right now. Okay, welcome to day 5, which falls on a Tuesday today. And today's going to start off with a little bit of a confession because I woke up slightly hungover today. So yesterday after I came home after shooting a session, I was like, oh my gosh, give me some bourbon. I just want to relax, watch some TV with Rory. And I ended up having a little bit more than I thought I did because of the glass size. It wasn't like measured properly, I guess. So yeah, I just had a little bit more than I wanted to. And yeah, I woke up just a little bit hungover. It wasn't too bad or anything. It was just like a little bit of like headache and not energized feeling. But yeah, the great thing about my morning shakes that I have every morning that I've told you guys in day 1 is that it has half a banana, and bananas are known to cure hangovers. So pretty much as soon as I had the shake, I felt energized, felt better. So that is, that is good news. And okay, so yesterday I had an amazing day. Oh my gosh, I've got everything pretty much done and it felt so good. So I'm going to walk you through quickly. So I did end up filling out the tax form, the part that I was supposed to fill out yesterday. So that was done. So I've been procrastinating this, guys, for months. So I'm so excited that it's done and it felt so good. And as usual, we always tend to procrastinate things that we make up in our heads that are going to be so hard to do. But then once we're in flow and once we're doing it, it's actually easy. So it felt really great doing it, and I'm really happy that that part is done. Also, I ended up putting out a vote on Instagram and sending out a survey to my email list to see if you guys want a Shine and Thrive Facebook group. And so far, so many responses have come in and everyone has been like, yes, please, I would love that. So I'm really excited about the response. And now it's going to take me time to just like put together the whole workflow for me for that, because I want to make sure I'm organized to make sure that I show up every week consistently and all of that. So that's really good that happened. And then also, I did the OMI motivation call yesterday at 12:30, which was amazing. There were so many wins in the group, that have been so fun to hear, because it always lights me up as soon as I see someone really realize like, oh my gosh, the stuff that Sara teaches in the course actually works. And then it lights them up in a way where they're like, oh my gosh, I was so stressed. And now I got the task back from the VA and it's exactly how I would do it. And then all of a sudden their workload gets like cut down. That just makes me so happy to see those comments in our OMI group and for my students to get these results. So that honestly energized me so much. So that call went really well. I also did review the curation that my virtual assistant did for me for the wedding images that I told you about yesterday. And that took me about 15 minutes. She did an amazing job. I had a couple pointers of her to just swap out some images, but it took me about 15 minutes. And now I pretty much have a blog post ready to assign to her. So that's great. I went through emails. I shared the behind the scenes videos from the wedding this past weekend. So I did that as well. The only thing that didn't fully go as planned was I wanted to update my highlight bubbles on Instagram to have those little circles be a little bit more put together and have like little like graphics in them. And I realized that I wasn't ready to update all of them because I would actually have to create a couple more stories to insert into there. Anyway, I don't want to confuse you guys on that, but basically that I ended up having to defer to actually work on that separately on another day when it's more of a high priority. Right now with my weekly top 3 being, let me see here, I have to go back and remind myself because I don't remember off the top of my head. Okay, with my weekly top big 3 being submit my taxes to accountant, create sharing system for my education, and also sort through video footage for the upcoming course, I don't want to get distracted with these highlight bubbles. They are not the priority this week, and only if I have extra time will I dive in deeper into that. So that's how I stay on track, because otherwise I know you as well, like all of us entrepreneurs and creatives, it's easy for us to get distracted and start working on smaller tasks that don't actually really move the needle forward in this moment. So oh yeah, and yesterday I also did have an engagement session that I shot, which went amazing. And that's exactly when I came back and decided I want some bourbon. So yeah, there's that. And I woke up a little bit hungover. Also, yesterday, so just to share a little bit of like something that didn't go to plan. So I forgot to mention that yesterday was Rory and I's run day. So we were supposed to go for a run, an 8-kilometer run. And I told him that after I come back from my session, which would be about 8:30 p.m., we would go for a run. But I didn't plan well. And I actually was starving when I came home. And I was just like, Rory, like, I'm so hungry and like tired from the day. Like, I don't want to go for a run. I'm like, can we wake up 7:30 a.m. tomorrow and go for a run tomorrow morning? And also, today on Tuesdays is our yoga day. So I'm like, we'll run in the morning and do yoga in the evening. He's like, oh, I've been waiting for you, but you know what? It's okay. I get it. You're hungry and it's okay. We'll just end up hanging out. So that's what we did. But then I woke up hungover, so we didn't end up going for a run. So see how this is like, it just didn't go to plan, but I'm not beating myself up. I'm just learning lessons along the way. Like, hey, maybe have one less glass of bourbon and drink a little bit more water the night before you want to go for a run at 7:30 a.m. So yeah, there's that me being real with you. Okay, so today is Tuesday and I'm going to talk you through the daily big 3 that I have for today. So I want to create a behind the scenes reel. So I've really been enjoying creating these reels. And right now with Instagram, with this being like a new feature on Instagram, they are really like favoriting accounts that do create reels. So they're pushing, if you create a reel, they're pushing it out and you get so many more views on them right now. And normally just because a feature is new, I don't do it just because I know that it'll push my account more for me to be discovered more. I only do it and jump on the bandwagon if I actually enjoy it. Because at the end of the day, I want to enjoy how I run my business, right? So I tried creating a reel a couple weeks ago and I actually had so much fun with it that now I'm like, oh my gosh, this is actually something I look forward to. So I basically kind of have that in mind now when I do get behind the scenes footage of me doing whatever. So basically I want to create one today of some footage that I've kind of had in the backlog. So I'm going to do that today. Today, I also need to review the cull that my virtual assistant did for me from this past weekend's wedding. So that is ready for me, waiting in Dropbox. I just have to get it out of there and open it up into Lightroom and then review that and make sure all the images I want are in there. And with that, I'm also going to be sending the couple their sneak peek today. And also I'm going to be sending this wedding to be edited to the Image Salon. So that is the main priority for today. Clients always come first. And today is the day I need to complete my tax form and actually submit it to my accountant. So actually like physically bring everything to my accountant. So those are the big 3 for today. And in other little tasks, I have to record this snippet, which I'm doing right now. I want to order some prints from GTA prints from recent past weddings that I can include in their little like surprise box that they don't know that they get. And I also wanted to invite a guest to be, or someone to be a guest on my podcast. So I want to see if they're interested in that. And just assign my virtual assistant a couple other little tasks for her to just do some research for me for just some technical stuff on the back end of my business that I don't want to take my time to figure out. So I just basically assign her like, hey, research if this is possible or this is possible. So she'll be doing that for me. So that is what's on the books today. And I'm excited to catch up with you tomorrow. And most likely I won't be hungover tomorrow because I don't like waking up hungover. So I'll see you tomorrow. So, welcome to day 6, and today I'm coming at you not hungover. I'm feeling energized, so that's great. I learned my lesson. I had a glass of red wine last night, but no more than that. So I'm like, sweet, I got that balance that I was looking for. But I'm excited to dive into how yesterday went, because I had some wins and I also had some things that didn't go to plan. So I'm going to dive into my big 3 for the day. So yesterday I ended up getting 2 of my big 3 done, and I went on some little tangents with my other tasks that actually ended up being very valuable for me. So I'm actually okay that I didn't get one of my big 3 done. And the one I didn't get done was for me to create the behind the scenes reel. I just got lost in some other tasks that took a little bit longer than I thought. And for me to actually implement those things that I was working on, helped my business a lot, because what I like to think of a lot is, what is the one thing that you can work on right now that will make a lot of other things easier, that will save you lots of time moving forward? And one of those things was for me to automate how I invite guests on my podcast. And by that, I mean creating email templates, creating a calendar link where they can go in and choose whatever time they want to book in for the recording. And I didn't have that in place. And as you guys know, I wanted to reach out to someone to ask them to be a guest on my podcast yesterday. And as I was about to do that, I was like, Sarah, you don't have a system in place for doing this yet. You're going to type out this email now, and then in the future, when you want to ask another guest, you're going to have to also type out a new email. You're going to have to try to figure out a time with them on the calendar. Like, just have a system in place that moving forward, every time you want to ask someone to be a guest, it's so much easier and it takes you way less time. So I actually ended up spending more time up front making that happen. And yesterday I decided that that was more important in that moment than me making a behind the scenes Instagram reel, because I could just do that today instead. So that's why that first one didn't get done. Another reason that one didn't get done was because I actually spent time getting the other 2 done, and they took me a little bit more time than I thought. But so the other big 3, which I'm so proud about, I'm finally done. I completed the full-on tax form and I submitted it to my accountant. So I feel so good about that. It's something I've been procrastinating, and I finally made it happen. And I'm just so excited to hear back from her and finally get all of that sorted. So that's a huge check mark. And I actually decided to walk to my accountant because I live about 15-minute walk from them. So I decided to walk to my accountant just to get a walk in. And that's why that task took longer than I expected. My other third one for the day was for me to review the cull that I had sent out to my virtual assistant. And I reviewed that. That went really well. It only took me 20 minutes to review it. I quality check everything. And I have a system in place to make sure to do that efficiently and not spend hours on it. Because then what's the point of outsourcing, right? If you're going to be spending all your time just rechecking and redoing everything, right? So it only took me 20 minutes to review that cull. And I was so happy with the results because I only took out 21 photos that she selected and I added in 28. So that was really, really good, and it only took me 20 minutes. And then after that, I spent time putting together the sneak peek for the couple and then sending that wedding off to be edited to the Image Salon, which frees up the rest of my week for all the other things that I want to do, right? And okay, I also, of course, I recorded the day in the life podcast snippet. I ordered all the prints for my clients' boxes from GTA Imaging that I recently, for all the weddings that I recently did. I also checked the vote on Instagram from you guys to see if you guys wanted me to create a Facebook group, a Shine and Thrive Facebook group. And so many of you guys were excited and voted, yes, I would love that. And I even surveyed you on email, and I got so many email or survey responses back, and was so much feedback of like, yes, I would love that actually. So that makes me really, really excited. I'm so excited to create a group for you guys, a safe space where it's a safe space, and it's full of positivity and growth mindset and business tips and personal development tips, and a space where like-minded photographers that just want to grow and be positive and help support each other can be in. I will definitely not tolerate any sort of complaining or negativity or gossip or anything like that. I want to create a space where you enter and you feel energized and you feel safe. So I'm so excited to put that together for you guys. So another thing I did was I asked that guest to be on the podcast, which again, I told you I created that workflow, which took me a bit longer. It took me about an hour, but it was so well worth it rather than just quickly sending off that 10-minute email and then spending more time in the future dealing with scheduling and all of that. I feel really great about it. And I love this one quote. It really speaks to me. Every time I try to rush into something, it slows me down and makes me think about like, is this actually the most efficient way you could do it? And it's basically slow down to speed up. So yes, yesterday that task maybe took me an hour, but now moving forward, any other guest I want to invite, I'd send them one email and then they can schedule it in the calendar. Then they can also fill out the form that I need for them to like attach an image of them, write out anything that we need to talk about or a topic that they don't feel comfortable talking about. I get all the information in one email. So that's as efficient as it gets. And I also assigned Rachel, my virtual assistant, to other little tasks that I needed her research help with. And that was pretty much it. Another fail for yesterday though. So I don't know what's happened for me and Rory the past 2 days. Like Monday we were supposed to run and we didn't, and I told you guys why. And yesterday we were supposed to run in the morning and we didn't because I was hungover. But then I was like, okay, no, we're going to do yoga in the evening. And we have been on this lifestyle shift for 1.5 years and we've been really like working out like 4 times to 5 times a week consistently. In the last 2 days, we missed our workouts. I mean, last week we worked out 5 days a week. We've been feeling amazing, but yeah, something is just off this week. So normally I would have also told you, yeah, we did yoga yesterday, but we didn't. And it's okay. I'm not beating myself up for it. We just maybe energetically weren't available for it or just wanted to relax more. So that is something that's kind of like falling off. It's normally my week is filled more with movement. But that's something that, I just need to keep in the forefront of my mind to make sure it doesn't slip away. Because as soon as my movement slips away and isn't part of my life, my mental health basically goes out the window. So yeah, that's something I need to keep an eye out on and make sure that today we move. I need to make sure that we move today, and I will update you on that tomorrow. Okay, so today is Wednesday, and I'm going to talk to you about what I have planned today. I already went for a walk, and another thing that I need to, keep track of and make sure I do is meditate. And I did really well at the start of the year. I meditated, I think, for 4 months straight every single day. And then recently it's been kind of like falling off, and I've been meditating here and there. But this morning I made sure to meditate for 5 minutes. Even something is like game changer, even 1 minute, even 3 minutes. And I decided to do 5 minutes. And also right after my meditation, I make sure to visualize for a minute. So I sat there visualizing a goal that I have, or like a goal I want to get to. And the key to visualization is embracing that feeling as if you already have it. So if you imagine how you'd feel, for example, in your future dream home that you're just constantly visualizing in your mind, imagine you actually in that space and you feeling how it feels to be there. So what I do is I visualize that. I know in my soul, I'm like, that's going to happen. And then I transition over into it's already happening. I'm already there. And as soon as you embody that whole feeling like in your body and energetically, you become a law of attraction magnet. And I don't know about you guys, I am obsessed with the law of attraction. It has worked wonders in my life. I'm not going to get too deep into it now because there's so much on that, but basically you just become a magnet to that dream reality. And then you are able to start making decisions and going into action and energetically being available for that dream to be aligned with you. So that is a practice that I am putting into place. I'm still not perfect at it, but every day I do that. Every day I do that. I just said do, just like Chandler on Friends. I love that joke. So every time I do that, I feel amazing, and the rest of my day seems to flow really, really beautifully into place. So I did that this morning. And then to tell you what's on the agenda today. So today, my daily big three. Number one, I want to create that reel that I didn't do yesterday. So I'm just kind of transferred one of my big three from yesterday that wasn't done to today. And then I want to make sure that I create rules and a description for the Shine and Thrive Facebook group community. So again, I want to make sure it's a safe space for people that can enter and feel very energized entering it and leaving it, or like feel like they need inspiration. And as soon as they leave, I want you to feel energized and not down on yourself, not comparing yourself to others. I want you to feel uplifted. So I need to put that foundation in place first before I'm able to invite you guys in there. So that's going to be the start of that today. And also, I want to make sure that I cull through 50% of the video footage for the online course where I teach you how I document weddings. So that I want to make sure to do today. And other things on the list are for me to review a cull from Monday's session. So my virtual assistant has that ready for me. I'm going to do that soon. And also just some other little tasks that are pretty small. It's just mainly like the more of the research stuff that I have my virtual assistant doing. So it's kind of a little like, it's hard to explain. And then I have at 12 p.m., I have a coaching call with a photography student. So I offer coaching sessions, and she's just kind of feeling stuck with where she is in her business and needs inspiration, a mindset check, clarification on what's the next step forward to where she wants to go. So I'm so excited to connect with her on that and inspire her to take the steps that will actually take her towards her dreams instead of getting distracted by all the things she thinks she should do, but instead customize a strategy for her that will actually get her to where she wants to go and not just comparing herself to what other photographers are doing. Because that's definitely the way that you get a little bit I feel like lost on the journey as an entrepreneur. If you're just kind of seeing like, oh, that's what that person's doing. That's what that person's doing. And then by the end of it, you're like, who am I? Like, what am I even passionate about? What am I offering? Why am I even doing all of this? But if you instead choose to approach things from being in alignment of what you actually want and designing your business from that place and staying true to who you are, then that's how you differentiate yourself in the photography market, right? That's how it ends up not being saturated, because if you have something else to offer, something different, something unique, because we're all so unique, then of course you're going to get hired for that gift that only you offer that maybe couples don't see from other photographers that they've contacted. So yeah, I'm really excited to connect with her, and that's pretty much it for today. Oh yeah, and me and Rory, we have to move today. So either yoga or a run. We need to keep each other accountable for that because we need to keep our energy up. So that's it for today. I will connect with you tomorrow. All right, welcome to day 7. And it doesn't end here. So I know this is day 7, but I wanted to take you Friday to Friday, and today is actually Thursday. So yeah, I wanted to kind of round off the week in a nice way. So I'm also gonna keep you in the loop tomorrow, Friday, as a nice little end to this episode. But today I'm gonna focus on how yesterday went and telling you about how today's gonna go. Okay, so my daily big three from yesterday, I got my creating my rules and description for my Shine and Thrive Facebook group done and up and created, and it feels so good because it lays down a foundation for a really safe space for everyone, and just for a lot of positivity and no trolling and no, bad vibes, right? So I feel so good to have that up and ready to go. I also did create a reel on Instagram that I really loved. I ended up getting like a behind the scenes video of me shooting a dance, like a father-daughter dance, and then the mom joined in, and I had a photo from that moment. So I ended up kind of putting those two together, and it shows me shooting it behind the scenes, and then it transitions into what the photo looks like. So I was really happy with that, and I got a lot of emotional reactions in the comments because it was a really emotional moment, and definitely pulled on the heartstrings, and especially with reels, when you can add in music, it definitely pulls on the heartstrings even more. So that was really fun to create. But my third biggest big three thing, I keep not knowing how to say that. My third big three that I didn't get done yesterday was going through 50% of the video footage for the course. I ended up working on all the other little tasks that I had to work on. And sometimes also, you guys know how it is. Email can just take way longer than you expected because it depends on how many emails you're getting. So yesterday I ended up missing that portion, but it's okay because I can allocate that to today and tomorrow to make sure to get that done. So I'm not beating myself up over it. So other things that I got done yesterday, I recorded the snippet, right, for Day in the Life. I reviewed an engagement session call that my virtual assistant did for me, and that went really well. It took me about 8 minutes to review, so that was amazing. And then I sent them the sneak peek, and I sent off that engagement session to be edited by the Image Salon. And then I also ended up just, going through emails, which was, they had to get done, of course. And as you guys know, I meditated and visualized. So that was amazing. But on top of that, I had my coaching call booked with another photographer. And she ended up, I always give my students the option of extending their coaching call because sometimes 1 hour isn't enough. And these coaching calls are fully customized to exactly what you need and what you need to cover. So at the 1 hour mark, I would say, okay, let me know if you want to keep going. You can add on an hour or half an hour or an hour and a half. We can keep going in half an hour increments. And so we ended up adding on another hour because there's just so much to cover, and we wanted to dive in deep so she can actually really start building the foundation that she needs to build in order to start seeing results to where she wants to go. So that took up a lot more time than I expected as well. And of course, after that, I made sure to send her an email with the notes and the homework and all of that. So it just took a little bit longer than expected, but that's why I when I do have coaching call days, I sometimes can expect to not get my daily big three done. Sometimes I might miss one of them, but that's okay because then I could just move that to the next day. Guys, this planner that I'm talking about, I'm basically looking at it every time I'm recording one of these snippets for you. It's just so laid out for me, and I would not have been able to have such a productive week without actually the night before planning ahead of what I'm going to be focusing on, what I'm going to do, and visually seeing how my day looks. This planner has been a game changer for me in my life and business. I have never been so productive. And as you can see, I'm not perfect. I still miss things, but I miss way less than if I was just remembering off the top of my head what I need to do and just being reactive in my business, right? This way, I'm actually being proactive. So I cannot recommend this planner enough, the Full Focus Planner, and it's linked in my show notes. And if you guys decide to end up getting it, I would really appreciate you going directly through the link in my show notes because I'm working on building up passive income through affiliate links. And this is one of my first ones. And this podcast costs money to make. And so far, I'm pretty much breaking even. So it would really, really help a lot to help me out with being able to create even more podcast episodes and just help supporting what I do here. So that was yesterday. And of course, I'm forgetting, how that whole movement goal that I told you guys about, right? How me and Rory had to do yoga or run yesterday or something. It still didn't happen. And this is just me being real, right? We've had so many amazing weeks this year of working out 4 times a week, 5 times a week. Like I said, last week we worked out 5 times a week, but this week he's actually having a really intense time in his job, and they're going through a launch. So he's actually putting in so many hours, and it's bringing or what's it called? It's bringing him out of balance a little bit. And I'm realizing how much I actually lean on Rory working out for me to also work out because we do it together. So when doesn't have the time for it, I'm whatever, I'll just take a day off. And now I'm starting to notice it's day 3 in a row that we haven't worked out. And it's not like us. And I'm totally seeing the difference in my energy levels. So we didn't work out yesterday. So this is just me being honest with you because life happens, shit happens. We're still just going with the flow, not beating ourselves up for it, because why put that stress on our, like added stress on our bodies? As soon as we can get back into it, we're going to do it. And I mean, I could easily go for a run right now or do yoga by myself, but I just have this mindset like block in my head where I'm like, but I want to do it with Rory. It's more fun with Rory. And that's just my excuse. And hey, at least I'm admitting it. I know it's an excuse, and at least I know it and I'm choosing it. Right. So that was yesterday. Okay, so for today, I've moved for my daily big three. I've moved over the culling through 50% of the video footage for the online course for me to teach you guys how I document wedding days and what experience I take couples on from start to finish. So if I do 50% today and then 50% tomorrow, that means that my weekly big three goal can be checked off. Because remember how in the beginning of the week, I was like, I want to finish sorting through all the video footage this week for the course. So if I just make sure to do that, then it'll be done for the week. Also, over here for my second thing, I want to set up pending member questions for the Shine and Thrive Facebook group, and also create a header graphic. So before people can actually enter the group, I need to double check that they're actually Shine and Thrive listeners and that they're a photographer and things like that. So I just want to make sure to set up those questions in there. I've never done that before. So I just have to research how to do it and then actually do it. And also I want to create a header graphic for it to really be on brand and welcoming and all of that. Also, I want to go through all my survey responses that I got from you guys that are on my email list. And I basically asked, like, what would you want to hear? What would you want to learn about even more from me on like the Shine and Thrive podcast right here? And also, what would you want to learn from me if I did Facebook Live Q&As? And do you even want me to create a Facebook Live group and all of that kind of Facebook Live group? Oh my gosh, man, like coffee's not working yet for me today. What would you want to hear from me in the Shine and Thrive Facebook group? What would you want to learn? And so I really am so excited to dive deep into all those answers, because I really want to find out where you guys are at and meet you where you're at, so I can be here to support you along your journey. So today I'm going to go through all those responses. And then other little tasks that I have to do is I want to also like update the slideshow song list that I give my virtual assistant, where she can put together slideshows for me. We've been using kind of the same songs for some time, so I just want to update that just so she doesn't get as bored creating slideshows, just she gets like re-excited about them. And also for there to be just some fresh music on those. And also, oh yeah, so I'm going to assign Rachel, because as you guys know, whoever filled out the survey is entered to win a 1-hour coaching session with me, and I'm going to be doing the draw tomorrow. And I'm all about fairness. It's literally a randomized draw. So basically, I'm going to have her go through my surveys and write down all the names onto like a Google Doc or a Word doc, and then I'm going to copy all of those names tomorrow when I'm doing the draw and enter it into like Rafflecopter or something. And I'm going to literally like draw it out, and whatever name pops up, that's the winner. So instead of me spending my precious time going through and copying names into a document, like that's exactly why I have my virtual assistant. So I'm going to have to assign her to do that. And yeah, I just wanted to also schedule 4 posts for the rest of the week through Planoly, just so they can kind of pop out at random, and then I could keep posting on Instagram without actually having to do it live. So that's my day for today. Tomorrow I have another exciting day. There's some shooting involved and wedding reviews and all that. So I will keep you updated tomorrow as the last day. And yeah, I'm really excited for that. And if you want that full focus planner, again, what I use, if you want to try it out, I mean, it doesn't hurt to at least try it out to see if this one will actually stick, because man, this full focus planner is so powerful, along also with the focus on this podcast. So they even have a podcast that goes with it where they teach you how to actually use it. It's incredible. And even as soon as you get the planner, they even like have tutorial videos on how to use this section of the planner and this section. I'm like, these guys are incredible at what they do. So yeah, head over to the show notes, click on the link through there, and then make sure to buy through there if you're going to buy it. And I would really, really be so grateful for that support. All right. Well, I'll see you tomorrow then. Okay, welcome to the final day, day 8. I hope you enjoyed your journey with me. And today I'm going to finish off the episode with telling you how yesterday went and then telling you how today went already for me, because it's kind of halfway through the day for me and it just made more sense for me to finish off the episode that way. So I packed in as much information for you as possible, and as much of a sneak peek into my work and my personal life as possible. Okay, so yesterday, I ended up culling through 1/3 of the video footage, so that was really good. The one mistake that I've realized I made, because I've never had to do that before, I didn't really know how much time to allocate towards it. So that's why I haven't been able to really keep up with this goal this week. So I did cull 1/3 down yesterday. So I made progress. That's the number one important thing, is that I made progress. I didn't realize how long it would take me. There were 250 video clips of my videographer that got me literally behind the scenes documentary style throughout the whole 10-hour wedding day. So it's just a lot to go through. So I'm actually really proud that I've gone through 1/3 of it and I've culled it down. Next, another thing that I did. So actually, I feel like I got through that pretty well, that goal, even though I wanted to cull down to 50%. That was good. And then the other big 3 item I had was to set up pending member questions in the future Shine and Thrive Facebook community group. So I did that. I figured out the questions that I wanted to ask, and I figured out how to set it up, and I set it up. So that was good. Another thing I did was record the day in the life snippet. I also assigned my virtual assistant to gather the names from the survey that you guys filled out. So everyone that filled out a survey was entered to win a 1-hour coaching session with me. So she did that. So that way I had a quick list to copy and paste and put into a random name picker online. So it was actually a random draw. I also scheduled my Planoly posts until Sunday. So 1 post a day. Usually, sometimes if I have extra time, I schedule 2 per day, but this time, because of me culling through all that video footage for the online course, it was just so much more work than I expected. So I just took it more easy with planning my Instagram posts. So I did that. And then I also replied to a lot of emails, and my outsourcing made easy students, I ended up supporting them a little bit in the group because they had questions as they were implementing and stuff like that. So I popped in every now and then to give them clarity on the next steps as they were implementing and, working on exciting things and building workflows and foundations in their business. So I did all that as well. And also on top of that, I didn't finish. I had a big 3 item that I wanted to do, and that was to go through all the survey responses from you guys and note down about what I want to teach you guys in the near future. That is another I haven't done that before either. So I also didn't know how much time to allocate. So I'm learning from this. The main thing is that I don't see these as failures. I see these as learnings. So I didn't do that, but there's a reason for that. So a wedding came to me early from the Image Salon. The edit was ready, and I always put my clients first, first in, first out. I have to be a photographer first, and I have to keep in mind that I want my clients to have the best possible experience ever, for them to see their images as soon as possible. So that came in early. So I actually reviewed the edit from the Image Salon, which didn't take me long because they did it so spot on. I'm so happy with my editor. And then I exported the files and I sent it over to my virtual assistant to handle the slideshow creation and the curation for the blog post, and then sending off the gallery to the couple. So that was yesterday. So I got a lot done. I feel really good. What didn't happen, like I said, was the survey responses. I didn't go through them. I want to actually spend a lot of time really understanding what you guys need and what you're looking for and where you want to grow. So I didn't do that. And then I also didn't work out. So you guys are catching us in a week that's rare and throughout the year where we don't move at all. I mean, it's been 4 or 5 days. I can't even keep count now since we've worked out. But that's okay because we're just going to get right back into it next week. So it's okay. It's just life. Okay. So today I'm going to talk to you about what I already got done and what exciting things I have still planned. So what I got done is I actually culled through another 1/3 of the video footage. So it took a while, but that means that I have 2/3 completed. And my goal for the week was to have all of it culled through. And if I completed 2/3 and I didn't realize how much time it actually take me, I'm actually really, really proud of it. So that went great. I also reviewed a curation for my virtual assistant. So she curated the top storytelling photos from my one of my weddings so that she can create a short slideshow for my clients, and that can also become a blog post. So I always quality check everything. So that only took me 15 minutes to give her feedback. That was amazing. And I also announced the winner from the giveaway. So I announced the winner of the coaching session. So that was really exciting. And she responded back being like, oh my God, I don't even understand. I never win anything. It's crazy seeing my name. And she was just so excited to win it. So that made me really, really happy. I answered a lot of emails as well. And so that was my day so far. So far I had a really positive day. It is 3:30 p.m. now. And I have another exciting part to the day. So I'm actually about to go get ready because I'm documenting a ceremony for Brandon Taylor. So Brandon Taylor is a photographer in the industry, and I think his work is incredible. And Tiana and Brandon hired me to document their wedding day this year, but because of COVID and everything, they actually decided to reschedule to next year. And then a couple weeks ago, they're like, Sara, like, we just want to get married. Like, can you document just our ceremony this year and then also our full-on wedding day next year? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I would love that. So I'm about to head off to document them getting married for about an hour and a half, just with their closest family, their daughter. So I'm so excited for that. So I'm about to go get ready for that and then drive over to Roseville Estate and document that. And then as soon as I get back home, I need to get ready for tomorrow's wedding. So I have a wedding that's starting really early tomorrow at about, I think I have to be there at 8. So I have to leave here at like 7:15. So I have to make sure to get ready for that. And I just lost my train of thought because Abby was whining at my door being like, Mama, let me in. So yeah, she's in here right now shaking her tail at me. It's actually really adorable. Okay, so I have to get ready for tomorrow's wedding. So yeah, I'm going to come back up all the files from Brandon and Tiana's wedding ceremony, make sure that's all backed up, ready to go. And then I'm going to make sure everything is charged, which it most likely will, because I mean, I'm only shooting for an hour and a half outside today, so I'm not even using flash or anything, but I always make sure every wedding day all my batteries are fresh. So I'm going to do that to make sure my cards are fresh, everything is good. And then I'm going to have to go to sleep early tonight to be responsible and wake up at 6 a.m. and then leave here at 6:15 a.m. to go shoot that wedding. So yeah, a lot of shooting to come. I'm really excited. And then Sunday is just going to be my rest day. So there you have it, a week with me. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you got a lot of insight into how I plan out my week, what things I have on my schedule, and how I use my full focus planner, which I'm obsessed with. And yeah, if you guys want to get your hands on a full focus planner, head over to the show notes and make sure to use the direct link in order to get your hands on one of those for yourself. Head over to my show notes at saramonica.com/36. Also, if you want to try out the Image Salon, which I'm obsessed with, oh my gosh, they're just incredible. Head over to my show notes, and then there's a direct link that you can sign up and try out their services and stuff like that. And I would appreciate it if you also went through that link, because I would also get a little bit of a kickback. So anything helps with the production of this podcast. So lastly, I just want to mention, stay tuned for when I announce the Shine and Thrive Facebook community. I am so excited to pull this together with you, and I am so excited to actually connect with you guys more. One thing that I've been missing a lot, I mean, I love podcasting, but I've been missing actually like chatting and connecting and answering questions and all of that. So I feel like it will be a beautiful way to kind of round out the experience for both of us, for you and for me as well. So thank you so much for listening. Hope you have an amazing rest of the day, and we will connect soon. Yay! Thank you so much for hanging out with me and tuning into this episode. If you got value out of it, please feel free to message me on Instagram at Sara Monica Photo. That's Sara no H, Monica with a K, photo, to let me know. I get so freaking energized hearing from others that what I've said has had a positive impact on their lives. Also, make sure to hit subscribe to the Shine and Thrive podcast to never miss an episode. I'm so grateful for you, and I'm sending you all the productive vibes your way so you have the best week ever.